Friends, let's travel back in time about 2,000 years ago. An angel of God appears before a young woman and tells her that she has been chosen by God Himself for a great purpose. In a few months, she will give birth to a child who will go on to do great things. The angel's name was Gabriel, and the young woman he met was named Mary. As instructed by Gabriel, Mary's future child would be named Jesus, who would later establish Christianity, the world's most followed religion. His birthday is celebrated as Christmas. In today's video, we'll explore the life of Jesus the Christ. How did billions of people connect with him? And why was Jesus, who was revered as God, crucified? The history of Jesus' life is so ancient that there's no single consensus on many aspects, whether it's the date of his birth, his teachings, or his miracles. Different opinions exist. It's believed that Jesus was born somewhere between 4 and 07 BC. BC stands for before Christ, meaning the era before Jesus' birth, and AD refers to the time after his birth. Since we are in the year 2024, we can roughly say that Jesus was born over 2,000 years ago. A very interesting story is associated with his birth. Some believe Jesus was sent by God, while others believe he was an incarnation of God himself. It's said that Jesus' mother Mary, also known as Mother Mary or Mary the Virgin, was visited by the angel Gabriel. He told her she would give birth to a divine child and should name him Jesus. Two of Jesus' 12 disciples, Matthew and Luke, wrote in their Gospels that when Gabriel told Mary about Jesus' birth, she was not yet married. Although she was engaged to a man named Joseph, they hadn't yet wed. When Joseph found out about Mary's pregnancy, he initially refused to marry her. Later, an angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and explained the divine nature of Jesus' birth, after which Joseph married Mary. Mary and Joseph lived in the city of Nazareth. However, the Roman emperor at the time, Augustus, ordered a census, forcing Mary and Joseph to travel to the city of Bethlehem. Due to the census, Bethlehem was overcrowded, and Mary and Joseph had to take shelter in a stable outside the city. It was in this stable that Jesus was born. Angels announced his birth to nearby shepherds, who were the first to arrive to see their Messiah. This was because a prophecy had foretold the birth of the world's Messiah in the city of Bethlehem. This is also the reason we celebrate Christmas. It is believed that the day Jesus was born was December 25th. Which is why his birthday is celebrated as Christmas. That, in short, is the history of Christmas. Now, let's talk about how so many people became connected with Jesus. What did he do that made people see him as God? A major reason was the prophecy that spoke of a Messiah's birth, and people believed Jesus was that Messiah. Furthermore, according to Christian testaments and religious texts, Jesus performed several miracles, such as healing the sick, restoring sight to the blind, walking on water, and feeding thousands with just a few loaves of bread and fish. In the Gospel of John, chapter 2, verses 1 to 11, there's a mention of a wedding where, at his mother's request, Jesus turned about 150 gallons of water into high-quality wine. This is considered to be Jesus's first miracle. But that's just the beginning. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 7, verses 11 to 17, records a story where Jesus performed perhaps his greatest miracle. Jesus, along with his followers, was traveling to a town called Nain. As they approached the town gates, they saw a group of people carrying a dead body. The deceased was the only son of a widow who had no one else. When Jesus saw this, his heart was filled with compassion. He told the grieving mother, "Do not weep." He then went to the coffin, touched it, and said, "Young man, I say to you, arise." And a miracle happened. The young man sat up and began to speak. The people standing there were astonished. Only God could do something like this. After this event, people's respect and reverence for Jesus grew even more. The Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, verses 30 to 44, talks about another miracle. Jesus' apostles came to him and said they had been so busy meeting people all day that they hadn't even had time to eat. Jesus suggested they go to a quiet place. Seeing Jesus and his disciples leaving, a large crowd started following them. When Jesus reached a deserted place, he saw thousands of people behind him. He began to teach them. His disciples approached him, suggesting he send the people away so they could find food. Jesus told his disciples to arrange food for everyone right there. They replied that feeding so many people would cost as much as an ordinary person's 8-month salary. Jesus then asked how much food they had. His disciples checked and found they had only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus instructed them to have everyone sit down. He then took the bread and fish, broke them, and began distributing them among the people. In no time, everyone had food. About 5,000 people ate their fill from just 5 loaves and 2 fish. This is also considered one of Jesus's greatest miracles, after which people began to see him as God, and many more joined him. Jesus went on to perform many more such acts, and thousands became his followers. Some even began to worship him as God. So, what could have happened that led to Jesus, who was considered God, being crucified? According to the Bible's testaments, there were several religious and political reasons. Jesus began to challenge the religious leaders of that time and their teachings. He considered them hypocrites. He felt they were mentally enslaving people. Jesus was also against many of the rituals and religious practices of the time. The rabbis and religious teachers saw Jesus as a fraud. They didn't see anything divine or godlike in him. They considered it blasphemy for people to see him as the Messiah or as God himself. Besides these, there were political reasons. The Roman authorities saw Jesus as a threat. The way people supported him and followed his every word made the Romans fear he might declare himself king. They thought he could soon establish his own kingdom. Although Jesus never directly challenged Roman governance, Due to pressure from some Roman officials and the crowd, a trial was held for Jesus in Jerusalem. He was accused of trying to seize power and disturbing the peace. Pontius Pilate, the fifth Roman governor of Judea, was in charge of the hearing. Although no charges were proven against Jesus during the trial, Pilate, under pressure from many people and high-ranking Roman officials, sentenced Jesus to death by crucifixion. Crucifixion involved being nailed to a large wooden cross and left there until one died a slow, agonizing death. Jesus was crucified along with two other criminals. According to the Gospel of John, a plaque was placed above Jesus' head, on which was written in three languages: Hebrew, Latin, and Greek, "Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews." Jesus was crucified around 9 in the morning and hung on the cross until he died around 3 in the afternoon. This is why the cross is a central symbol for Christians. After his death, a man named Joseph of Arimathea took Jesus down from the cross. With the help of a man named Nicodemus, he took Jesus' body to a tomb, where he was buried. 3 days later, the resurrection occurred, when Jesus rose from the dead. 3 days after his death, many people went to the tomb to pay their last respects. But what they saw there left them stunned. The tomb was empty. According to many Christian religious texts, angels appeared and told the people that Jesus had risen. Afterwards, Jesus appeared to several people, including Mary Magdalene, one of his closest followers, and one of the few disciples present at his crucifixion. It is believed that Jesus remained on earth for 40 days after this, before ascending to heaven. Different religious texts have different accounts of his ascension. Some say winged angels carried him to heaven, while others say he ascended to heaven on a cloud. Even after Jesus left the earth, his followers continued to spread his teachings. This is why Christianity is the world's most followed religion today. However, some have always used religion for personal gain, and Jesus' name has also been misused. Whether it was the Crusades fought in the name of religion, stopping scientific experiments by branding them as satanic, or today as charlatans who perform fake miracles and play with people as faith by giving them false hope. The business of religion and conflict in its name continues, which can only be stopped if we all come together. So, this Christmas, let's try to overcome our inner evils. Let's become Santa Claus for the poor and needy by helping them. This will bring happiness to many people this Christmas. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to the channel for more such videos and stay connected. Thank you.